I think Warner Brothers sort of tried to market me as a sex symbol, which was not a good idea in my opinion.
Let's talk about Tevin Campbell, the definition of R&B royalty, and his story, pure legend. This dude went from a small-town kid with big dreams to a chart-topping sensation. And trust me, his journey ain't for the faint of heart. We're talking about raw talent, crazy highs, unexpected lows, and the kind of comeback story that keeps fans hooked. Tevin had that special something from day one natural-born talent, a voice that could stop time, and a star quality that had industry giants taking notice. He didn't just step into the game. He straight up owned it. With a voice smoother than silk and notes that could touch your soul, Campbell was untouchable in his prime. But let's rewind and start at the beginning. Tevin was born on November 12, 1976.
I'm a country boy from a very small town in Texas, Waxahachie, Texas.
Yup, a small-town boy with a voice destined to shake up the entire music industry. His mom, Rhonda Byrd, was the first to realize she had a superstar in the making. She wasn't just his biggest supporter, she was his rock, managing his early career and making sure the world saw what he was capable of. And trust, Tevin didn't waste no time proving her right.
My mom, one of her high school's friends called Bobby Humphrey. I sang for her over the phone, and she sent it to a lot of record companies. Quincy eventually snatched me up.
As a kid, he was killing it in church choirs, leaving people shook with his voice, and that's where he caught the attention of talent scouts who knew they had found something special. But here's the tea. Before Quincy Jones came into the picture, Tevin was first discovered by jazz musician Bobby Humphrey.
Yeah, Bobby Humphrey, and she sent that videotape to like numerous record companies.
She knew the kid was special and later introduced him to the one and only Quincy Jones, who saw his raw talent and took him under his wing. Now, here's where the magic really begins. Quincy Jones. The moment he heard Tevin sing, he knew this kid was the future.
I think when you are introduced to the world as a kid, then that's how they always are going to see you. And I was introduced to the world in a big way. Quincy Jones.
Tevin got the golden ticket, and in 1989, he was officially introduced to the world with Tomorrow, A Better You, A Better Me. A track from Quincy's album, Back on the Block. The song, straight up perfection. And Tevin, just 12 years old and already climbing the charts.
The first time I met Quincy was in the office at Warner Brothers.
Then came his debut album, Tevin, in 1991. And let me tell you, it was a whole vibe. With smash hits like, Tell Me What You Want Me to Do, and Alone With You, Tevin was serving vocals, swag, and star power. The critics blown away, the fans obsessed. He was officially that dude. But hold up, it was in 1993, I'm Ready, that cemented his place as R&B royalty. If you weren't slow dancing to Can We Talk, were you even living? That song had people writing love letters, making mixtapes, and leaving voicemails they had no business leaving. Produced by Babyface, it was the definition of a timeless hit.
Apparently, L.A. Reid wanted Usher to have Can We Talk, and Babyface wanted me to have Can We Talk, and it was a huge, huge fight.
And with other bangers like I'm Ready,
to love you,
and Always in My Heart, Tevin was on top of the world. At just 17, he had the game in a chokehold. Platinum albums, Grammy nominations, 5 to be exact.
Up by Tevin Campbell.
Magazine covers, you name it, he had it. And let's talk about the collabs. He was working with the biggest names, Babyface, Prince. Speaking of Prince, let's spill some tea. He personally handpicked Tevin for Graffiti Bridge. That's right, the Prince saw his potential and knew he was destined for greatness. And let's not forget, Tevin wasn't just a singer. He dipped into acting, voicing Powerline in a Goofy movie, 1995. And let's be real, that's still one of the most iconic Disney characters ever. He also made appearances on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Moesha.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm glad you agreed to be my escort.
Me too. You're still paying for my tux, right?
Can we talk?
Proving his talent wasn't just limited to music, and if that wasn't enough, he even made it to Broadway, starring as Seaweed J. Stubbs in Hairspray.
Living in the ghetto, black is it.
A triple threat? Absolutely. But here's where the plot thickens. Fame ain't always kind, and the industry even worse. The late 90s hit, and things started shifting. Tevin's third album, Back to the World,
Come on back to my world. Oh, yeah.
didn't quite match his earlier success. The sound was evolving, new artists were stepping in, and the industry was ruthless. People started asking, what happened to Tevin Campbell? And that's when the rumors started flying. The gossip, oh, it was wild. Industry folks started whispering about his image, his personal life, and whether he fit the R&B mold they wanted. And let's be real, the industry back then wasn't exactly welcoming to artists who didn't fit a certain mold. And then came the 1999 arrest. Tevin was caught in a sting operation in Van Nuys, California, for soliciting a lewd act from an undercover officer. He was fined, ordered to attend Narcotics Anonymous meetings, and put on probation. The media went crazy, and let's not forget the ongoing rumors about his sexuality.
And I think that people thought of me as this young kid who had this incredible voice. I don't think the sex symbol thing worked.
The speculation followed him for years, fueled by the industry gossip and his 1999 arrest. But Tevin, he kept it pushing, focusing on his music and keeping his private life, well, private. But the damage was done by the early 2000s. Tevin was out of the mainstream spotlight, and the industry had all but moved on.
In 2000, I released the greatest hits album on Warner Brothers, and I decided that I didn't want to be with Warner Brothers anymore. I really didn't know what I wanted to do.
But here's what they didn't count on. Real talent never fades. Tevin kept doing his thing, touring, performing, and letting the music speak for itself. While the charts weren't reflecting his greatness anymore, the fans never stopped riding for him. And then, boom, the resurgence. The 2010s rolled around, and suddenly, Can We Talk was everywhere.
Can we talk for a minute?
New artists were covering it. Social media was hyping it up, and a new generation was discovering the magic of Tevin Campbell.
I got to see on TikTok, like the young talent, it was amazing. Like they were saying, slaying Can We Talk?
People started giving him his flowers, realizing he had never truly left. He was just waiting for the world to catch up. Then came the ultimate mic drop. Tevin finally addressed all the rumors. In a candid interview, he opened up about his journey, his struggles, and his truth. The fans all love. They had his back then, and they have his back now. Because when you've got a voice like Tevin Campbell, nothing can take that away. In 2022, Tevin finally addressed all the rumors. In an interview, he proudly came out as gay.
Being around people that were like me, LGBTQ plus people that were like living normal lives and had partners, and I had never seen that. That was pleasing to me.
Confirming what had been speculated for years. He spoke openly about how difficult it was to be himself in an industry that wasn't always accepting, especially in the 90s. But now, he fully embraces his identity and is finally living in his truth. Fans celebrated the moment, showing him nothing but love and support. Fast forward to today, and Tevin is still that guy. He's been performing, making appearances, and reminding everyone why he was, is, and always will be R&B royalty. And let's not forget his influences everywhere. Artists today are still trying to capture that Tevin magic. So what's the takeaway? Talent like his doesn't fade. Tevin Campbell is a living legend, and his music will live on forever.